The holographic projection flickered to life in the center of the United Earth Council chamber, revealing the imposing figure of High Commander Zixthul. His crystalline exoskeleton caught the ambient light, creating prismatic patterns across his towering frame. Behind him, the sleek interior of the Hegemony flagship Dominion's Edge stretched into the distance, its bioluminescent walls pulsing with an otherworldly rhythm. Primitive bipeds of Sol 3. Zixthul's voice resonated through the chambers, translation matrix, each word dripping with condescension. Your species has been evaluated by the Galactic Hegemony. We find you quaint. Secretary General Martinez kept her expression neutral, though her fingers tightened around the edge of the conference table. Beside her, Admiral Chen's jaw clenched almost imperceptibly. The other council members maintained their diplomatic facades, but the tension in the room was palpable. You build with crude metals, the alien continued, gesturing dismissively. Your energy sources remain bound to primitive fusion. Your vessels lumber through space like wounded beasts, incapable of true faster-than-light travel. Most amusing of all, you still wage war with kinetic projectiles and explosive chemicals. Zixthul's compound eyes seemed to glitter with amusement. In 3 rotations of your planet, we shall arrive at your borders. Surrender now, and perhaps we will preserve some of your kind as curiosities for our museums. The transmission ended, leaving the council chamber in heavy silence. Museums, Admiral Chen muttered, finally breaking the quiet. They want to put us in museums. Martinez stood slowly, her weathered hands steady despite the gravity of the situation. Admiral, what's the status of Project Heisenberg? Chen's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. The quantum weapons array came online last week. All testing parameters exceeded expectations. 3 weeks later, the Hegemony fleet materialized at the edge of the Sol system. 200 vessels of impossible beauty hung in the void, their hulls seeming to shift between dimensions, their weapons crackling with exotic energies that bent space-time around them. On Earth, humanity watched through quantum-encrypted feeds as their own fleet moved to intercept. The human ships looked almost comically primitive by comparison, angular metal constructs bristling with traditional weapons, their hulls scarred by decades of asteroid mining and interplanetary conflicts. High Commander Zixthul broadcast once more from his flagship. Humans of Sol 3, you have chosen resistance over wisdom. We shall demonstrate the folly of your decision. The Hegemony fleet moved with predatory grace, their bioships rippling through space like living creatures. Their weapons began to charge, reality itself seeming to warp around the alien vessels. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Uncertainty Principle, Earth's newest and most classified vessel. Unlike the other human ships, this one bore no visible weapons, no obvious threat. To alien sensors, it probably appeared to be nothing more than an oversized communications relay. All quantum torpedo tubes loaded, reported Lieutenant Commander Singh. Entanglement locks confirmed on all enemy vessels. Sir, called out the sensor operator, enemy fleet is powering weapons. They're actually laughing at us, on the open channels. Chen nodded grimly. Let them laugh, Dr. Vasquez. Are your calculations confirmed? The quantum physicist looked up from her console, her eyes bright with the fervor of discovery. The quantum field resonance is stable across all target vectors, Admiral. When we collapse the wave function, in layman's terms, Doctor, every shot will hit every ship simultaneously, regardless of distance or defensive measures. Quantum entanglement doesn't recognize the concept of evasive maneuvers. The Hegemony fleet opened fire first. Beams of concentrated dark energy lanced across space, striking the human vessels with devastating force. 3 ships vaporized instantly, their atoms scattered across light years. More beams followed, and the human fleet began to break apart, under the onslaught. But the uncertainty principle remained untouched, hidden behind a wall of quantum probability. Now would be good, Chen said quietly. Singh's finger hovered over the firing control. Quantum torpedoes away. To the naked eye, nothing seemed to happen. No brilliant flashes, no visible projectiles streaking through space. But on quantum sensors, reality itself convulsed. High Commander Zixthul was still laughing when his ship simply ceased. Not destroyed, not vaporized. It simply stopped existing at the quantum level. The exotic matter that comprised his vessel found itself suddenly occupying the same space as its own quantum shadow, creating a cascade failure that unwove the bonds holding his atoms together. Across the hegemony fleet, the same fate befell every single vessel. 200 ships representing the pinnacle of galactic technology vanished in the span of a heartbeat. Their crews didn't even have time to register what was happening before they were reduced to quantum foam. The surviving human ships hung in space, their crews staring at empty void where moments before an invincible armada had threatened their existence. "My God," whispered Dr. Vasquez. "We actually did it." Admiral Chen activated the fleet-wide communication system. "All vessels, report status." The responses came in quickly. 37 ships destroyed, 18,000 lives lost. But humanity had won its first galactic war in less than 60 seconds. Weeks later, the quantum message interceptors began picking up frantic communications from across the galaxy. Word of the hegemony fleet's disappearance had spread, and with it came a new understanding. The primitive humans of Sol 3 had weaponized uncertainty itself. Secretary General Martinez stood once again in the council chamber, reviewing the latest intelligence reports. Alien civilizations were retreating from human space, their evaluation of Earth species having undergone a dramatic revision. "Madam Secretary." Admiral Chen entered the chamber holding a decoded transmission. "You're going to want to see this." The message was brief, transmitted on emergency channels across 17 star systems. "Warning, humans of Sol 3 possess weapons that violate quantum mechanics itself. Approach with extreme caution. They are not primitive. They are terrifying." Martinez set the report down and gazed out at the stars visible through the chamber's transparent aluminum windows. Humanity had always been underestimated, by nature, by circumstance, by their own limitations. But perhaps that was their greatest strength. When faced with impossible odds, humans didn't just adapt. They rewrote the rules entirely. In the depths of space, quantum echoes still rippled from where the hegemony fleet had briefly existed. And in laboratories across Earth, human scientists were already working on their next impossible project. Weapons that could strike targets in alternate timelines. The galaxy had declared humans primitive. The galaxy had been spectacularly wrong.